Turn the stone inside me back to flesh and hold me till my best defense is gone. And watch this rebel heart surrender all. I give it over to you. I give it over. Your love is like an ocean, and now this rebel heart belongs to you. Oh, take my life and let it be. Oh, take my life and let it be yours. Oh, take my life and let it be yours. Oh, take my life and let it be yours. I give it over to you. I give it over to you. Your love is like an ocean. oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace. For I am yours, and you are mine. Your grace abounds in deepest waters. Your sovereign hand will be my guide. Where feet may fail and fear surrounds me, you've never failed, and you won't start now. And I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace. For I am yours, and you are mine. Oh, and you are mine. Oh, Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. I will call upon your name, keep my eyes above the waves. My soul will rest in your embrace. For I am yours, and you are mine.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Steilacoom Community Church. As children would like to come forward for our second week of Advent, I'd like to share with you Daniel. You can sit on this side this time, okay? We'd like to welcome you. Please, if you're a first-time guest, there's a connection card in the pew in front of you. Please fill that out as completely as you feel comfortable so that we have a record of your visit and we have some contact information if you'd like to know more about the church, more about Jesus. We'd be happy to share that with you. At this time, we're going into week 2 of Advent, right? We have 2 candles lit. Okay. So week 2 is the candle of peace. And we talk about the Christmas story, our minds usually remember first and foremost when the angels appeared to the shepherds to proclaim peace on earth. In Luke chapter 2, verse 14, that's where we find that. So let's talk about what they may have meant by peace in that passage. Jesus brought about peace in the most unexpected ways. When he arrived, the Jews of that time thought that he would bring peace in a certain way, but he really did was give us peace with God and peace with others. Jesus gave us peace with God by his work on the cross. When Jesus died and rose again, he was making a way for us to be brought back into a right standing with God through the forgiveness of sins. When we receive that salvation, we become the dwelling place of the Holy Spirit, which means, do you know what dwelling place means? It means he lives in us. His Spirit, the Spirit of God, lives in us, which is amazing. Not only do we have the peace that comes from our assurance of salvation, but we also have the peace of mind knowing God will heal this broken world and will come again. I'd also mention that Jesus gives us peace with others, especially with other believers, because we belong to the same family of God, right? So the word peace appears somewhere between 200 to 400 times in the Bible, and we're going to go through all of those right now. I'm just kidding. We won't do all of them. Okay. How about we just summarize? Is that good? Okay. So the biblical peace can do a lot of things. In Philippians chapter 4, verse 7, I expect you to look these up, Daniel. Okay. Philippians chapter 4, verse 7. Peace guards our hearts from the devil. He's our enemy. So peace guards our hearts from him. In Proverbs chapter 12, verse 20, peace brings us joy. We know what joy is, right? Yeah. In Psalm 29, verse 11, peace is a blessing from God. Good morning, Chloe. Welcome. Join us up here. And then Isaiah chapter 54, verse 10, peace assists us during bad times. So when things go wrong, which they will, because that's life. Things go wrong sometimes. The peace of God can assist us during those times. We cling to that peace. So among so many other purposes, those are some things we can remember about peace, the peace that Jesus brings. So knowing that, in a scary and violent world, the peace of God grants us a calmness that we cannot find anywhere else and offers a light to others who do not yet know that peace. So this week in Advent, let us pray that regardless of our circumstances, our situations, that God would give us peace that surpasses all understanding. You may go back to your seats, and I'll invite you back up later, okay? Please stand with us as we worship this morning. Oh, yes, I heard the wow.
Stockings 1, 2, 3. They all know one is missing. It's been a whole year without you right here. Won't be the same kind of Christmas. Some years it's wonder, lights in the sky. Some years it's hope and cry. In your silent night, when you're not alright.
Good morning. Please join me in prayer at the throne of God. Our Father, we do want to prepare you room in this place and in our hearts. And we ask that you would join us here. We know you are ever before us, O audience of one. You know all things. You see all things. You know our thoughts before we compose them in our minds. We praise you. We adore you. We don't turn our thoughts to simple and just praise alone often enough. And so here in this place, joined together, we take a moment or two to think of you, the God of gods, the King of kings, the creator of the heavens and the earth. You who spoke and the world came into existence. The scripture tells us that the stars were formed out of the vapor of your mouth, and that you called them all by name. And as amazing as that is, you call us by name. And not only that, you've made us in your image. Mystery of mysteries. We praise you for who you are, for what you have done, and what you are now doing, sitting in heaven. Holy, 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 the angels say. Lord God Almighty, heaven and earth is filled with your glory. O triune God, sitting in highest heaven, we praise you. We praise you. Not as well as we ought, but as well as we can. Lord, especially at this Christmas time, we think of the mystery, the greatest mystery of all time, the incarnation. Lord, that you decided to send your Son as a baby to take on mortal flesh, being made in the likeness of man. You humbled yourself unto death, even death on a cross. Therefore God has exalted him and gave him the name that's above every name, that in the name of Jesus every knee would bow and every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of God the Father. And we praise you. We thank you, God, that we're not alone, that you're ever with us, even though we have done wrong. Lord, we bow before you before we ask for what we need and ask for forgiveness for what we have done and what we have not done. Forgive us, O God. Make us right before you. Lord, we are a needy people, both here in this body and in the world around. We need your help. We need your touch. And so we pray for our dear brother Lowell, for our brother and sister Jan and Dwayne, for Louise, for Jackie Gannon. And Lord, we pray for our dear sister Elizabeth Belton, who is with us this morning. Bless her, encourage her heart. We thank you for her. Lord, we pray for our community. We pray for our neighbors, for our town. We pray for our country, for the unrest, the difficulties, the uncertainties economically, politically, morally. None of this has caught you by surprise. But we pray for our land, Lord, that you would heal us, and you would draw us back to you. We pray for our world that seems to be falling apart. Lord, if these aren't birth pangs, we're not quite sure what are. And so we pray about the trouble internationally. Wars and rumors of wars seem to be continuing and increasing. To which we say, Maranatha, Lord, come, Lord Jesus, but not until your work is done. You've called the last soul into yourself. Oh God, our hope is only in you. And we thank you that in the silent night we are not alone. And you gave us a prayer to pray. And we are going to do it here together, praying, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our sins, as we forgive those who sin against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Well, thank you, Michael. I love this season. All right, it's just a wonderful time for us to get together as friends, as family, as one body. And thank you, Michael, for pointing that out. I had been told, there we go, Elizabeth, I had been told that you were going to bless us here today, and so it's so good to see you. And I understand you have your daughter with you, Kathy. There we go. Kathy, we haven't met yet, but I'm glad to meet you for the first time here. So thank you for being here. It's a wonderful time to get together as family. And as we gather around the table as family, today we're going to remember the Lord in communion. And so those who have done this with me know that we always kind of go through sort of a little bit of a spiritual pre-flight checklist every time we come to the time of communion. The Apostle Paul gives us these words in 1 Corinthians. He says, "Whoever therefore eats the bread or drinks the cup of the Lord in an unworthy manner will be guilty concerning the body and blood of the Lord. Let a person examine himself then, and so eat of the bread and drink of the cup. For anyone who eats and drinks without discerning the body eats and drinks judgment on himself." And as you know, I take these words very seriously. And so we like to take a look at what this means. And we, here at Steilacoom Community Church, we've sort of broken this down into sort of 3 central checkpoints that we like to go through. First is, who can take communion? Who is communion for? And we have a series of kind of call and response questions. So if you know these answers, go ahead and call them on out. Does this mean that you have to be a Baptist, Presbyterian, Lutheran, Methodist, any of those? Does it mean you have to fit any one of those molds? No. Does it mean you have to be a member of Steilacoom Community Church? No. Does it mean you have to be a member of God's family? Yes. So this is for believers. This is for those that know Jesus Christ as their personal Lord and Savior, those that are a member of the body of Christ. And so if you're a part of the body, then we invite you to come and join. If you are not, we would absolutely love to tell you about our Savior and hope that you would make that decision. But we do want to honor, again, the words of this text. So first and foremost, are you part of the body? The second we see is, are you at peace with the body? And so we know that among this body that God has drawn together of believers, we want to make sure that we are at peace with one another. If there's any unconfessed sin that stands between us and the Lord, we want to bring that to Him at this time. I'll lead you in a moment of prayer in just a little bit here. We want to make sure that we are at peace with one another as individuals. If there's any resentment or bitterness that you hold against a brother or sister in Christ, we want to make sure that that is resolved. We don't want anything to stand between us and the union that we have in Christ. And so we have to ask ourselves, am I at peace with the body? And so at that point, if you feel that there is something, whether it be sin you're not ready to let go of, or some sort of conflict that hasn't yet been resolved, and you feel that you can't quite do that yet, again, I would encourage you to honor the text of this word and just for a moment, just refrain from partaking here this morning. As I've said many times before, I'm more than happy to come and I'll bring it to you at your house, right? If you need a day or two to sort of let something settle over and you need to pray about something, this is just honoring again what the word says. You're not out of the family by any means at all. It's just simply refraining for just a moment. But again, we will pray in a little bit here, and you'll have the opportunity to make those things right with God. And the third is, are you participating in the body? And we see many times in Scripture where we are told that we are parts of a body put together as one body, and we know that when one part of our body decides to rebel against the rest or simply decide that it's not going to do its job that day, the entire body suffers. I think many of us know this all too well. And so in the same way it is with the church and the body of Christ. And so if God has placed you in the body for a particular purpose, if He has gifted you with a set of skills, and you're not contributing to the work of the body, right? And you need to check your heart and see, where am I in this? Am I performing the function that God has created me to do? I would really ask you to sort of evaluate yourself here at this time as we pray, and just be made right with God in that one. We've been put together for a purpose, right? We're put together for more than just getting together in coffee hour. We've been put together for a kingdom purpose. Amen? So as we do that, let's go ahead and go to the Lord in a word of prayer. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do as we've done before. We're going to have Jeremy and I in the front. We're going to receive 2 lines coming forward as we'll pass out the communion. If we need anyone to be served in the seats, we will certainly do that as well. Just simply kind of raise a hand and we will serve you where you are. And then once we're done passing out our communion, go ahead and hold on to that. I'll come up and we'll partake together right after that. But would you join me in a word of prayer? Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, for this sweet remembrance that we have and the blessing that we have in the sacrifice of Jesus. Lord, a painful memory, but a sweet one all the same. Lord, we recognize the precious gift that we have received in the salvation that we have, the atonement, the blood that was poured, the body that was broken, Lord, on our behalf. Lord, we cannot imagine the gift that we have received, and Lord, we are eternally grateful. I pray that you would help us to live in a way that honors the sacrifice of our Lord and Savior Jesus. Lord, I pray that you would search us at this time. If there's anything that we are unaware of, Lord, I pray that you would convict our hearts. Make us aware of that which grieves your heart. But Lord, if there are things that we are aware of, things that we know that displease you, Lord, I pray that you would give us the boldness, that you would give us the strength to lay these things at your feet, to cast these before your throne, Lord, asking your forgiveness. Lord, repenting of these things, carrying them on no more. Lord, if there is division between the body, I pray that you would help us to make it whole once again, that we can continue the kingdom purpose and function for which it has been formed. And Lord, if we have found ourselves in a place where we are no longer contributing to your kingdom work, Lord, I pray that you would prod us along as you have so often had to do through life. Remind us of the gifts that you have given us. Remind us of the calling that you have on our life. Lord, that we would go out and that we would see the works of your hands firsthand, that we would see your might and your power and your wonders, that we would glorify you with our faithful service to you. But Lord, as we partake here in this time, again, remind us of the gift that we receive. And we ask all of these things in the blessed name of Jesus. Amen. Would you please come? Right, so if you've never used these before, just know that there's a clear plastic layer on the top and then there's the foil underneath. If you sort of wrench off the foil, you're going to have a hard time here in a second. For I received from the Lord what I also delivered to you, that the Lord Jesus, on the night when he was betrayed, took bread, and when he had given thanks, he broke it and said, "This is my body, which is for you. Do this in remembrance of me." In the same way, also, he took the cup after supper, saying, "This cup is the new covenant in my blood. Do this as often as you drink it in remembrance of me." Amen. Thank you, Jeremy. For anyone who, for as often as you eat this bread and drink the cup, you proclaim the Lord's death until he comes. That's what it's all about. Amen. Amen. At this time, we want to go ahead and invite our children to come forward for Kids Town. Melinda, I'll let you take that.
Yes, children, please join me up here to be prayed over before we go downstairs for Kids Town. Let us pray. Father, thank you so much for these children. They keep me young, that's for sure. And they're so wonderful, and they're joyful, and they haven't yet seen
what's out in the world, but you are preparing them every day and every week as they come here to learn about your word. And Father, I pray that it would be more than just a story on a page to them, that it would come to life, that your spirit would inhabit them, that your spirit would draw them to you with such force that they cannot deny it, and that when they grow old, they will not depart from it because they've been raised up in the way they should go. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. And we continue our worship this morning in our giving. I want to invite our ushers to come forward and receive this morning's offering. Heavenly Father, once again, we give you thanks for all that we have received. We give back a portion praying, Lord, that you would take it and use it for your glory. Multiply it in a way that only you can. And, Lord, be magnified in this world around us. And we ask all these things in the name of Jesus. Amen. Well, church family, you may be seated. You will be glad to know we are going to step away from Exodus for just a couple of weeks. We finished up, for those that are just kind of coming in, we just finished up 10 plagues. It's been a rough go of it, and we're kind of happy to talk about some lighter things here in this time. So we're going to be in the book of Isaiah. So if you have your Bibles with you, go ahead and make your way to the book of Isaiah, chapter 9. We're going to look at verses 2 through 7, and we're going to stay here for the next couple of weeks. We're going to look at different parts of this, specifically 4 different names that we see here in this text. So Isaiah chapter 9, verses 2 through 7. It's a very familiar passage when we come into the Christmas season. So let's read this together. Hopefully you've already made your way there. I mean, you have it bookmarked, right? You know exactly where this is. Don't even have to look for it. But we're going to make our way there. Isaiah chapter 9, verses 2 through 7. Would you join me as we read? The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. Those who dwelt in a land of deep darkness, on them has light shone. You have multiplied the nation. You have increased its joy. They rejoice before you as with joy at the harvest, as they are glad when they divide the spoil. For the yoke of his burden, the staff of his shoulder, the rod of his oppressor you have broken, as on the day of Midian. For every boot of the tramping warrior in battle tumult, and every garment rolled in blood will be burned as fuel for the fire. For to us a child is born. To us a son is given. And the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and of peace there will be no end, on the throne of David and over his kingdom, to establish it and to uphold it with justice and with righteousness from this time forth and forevermore. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will do this. Will you join me as we ask the Lord to bless the reading, the hearing, the teaching, the application of his word? Heavenly Father, we thank you for this wonderful, wonderful promise that we who are on the other side of the cross, Lord, we have seen this promise fulfilled, and Lord, is continuing to be fulfilled in this world around us. And Lord, we thank you for your faithfulness in the word. We pray that you would speak once more to us here again today, that your word would spring forth new truth and new understanding. Lord, help us to glean from this passage a better understanding of who you are, to know you better, to serve you better, and to love you better. And we ask all these things in the name of Jesus. Amen. So as I kind of mentioned at the very beginning, we're going to take some time looking through these 4 names that we are given. And his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Today we're going to take a look at Wonderful Counselor. As with everything that we have in Scripture, we have to look at these things through the scope of Scripture. We have to look at them in the context of their writing. And the biblical use of wonderful is not quite the same as we use today. When we say wonderful today, a lot of times we simply mean that something is nice or pleasing. Oh, a little bit of snow outside, isn't that wonderful? We sort of just kind of toss around. It's a good thing when we hear it, but it doesn't have the same punch that it has here in Scripture. When the Scriptures talk about something being wonderful, we need to literally understand it as being full of wonder. That's literally how the word is constructed, that it's full of wonder. And when we see wonder being referenced in the Scriptures, it is referring to the unknown things or unknowable things of God, the things that are incomprehensible. We always see the signs and wonders that are given to us to draw our minds to God, to the greatness of God. And so you can certainly kind of see how when it's talking about wonderful in that context, that's a slight bit more than just, isn't that wonderful, right? It's a pretty impressive thing to know that God is wonderful, that we should be full of wonder. This is a world that has sort of lost its sense of wonder. It seems like every day we sort of revel in our brilliance as we sort of unveil one more mystery. We're learning things at an incredible rate. Now, don't mishear me here, right? I'm not saying that we should stop learning, and that I'm not a fan of learning, and I'm not anti-knowledge or anti-science or any of these things. What I'm saying, however, in fact, I encourage those things. In our minds, we have come to the belief that there is nothing that is truly unknowable. There's just simply a lot of things that we don't know yet. And if we're not careful, this causes us to diminish our understanding of God. See, the truth of the matter is, doesn't matter which direction we go, we go big or we go small, we find sort of the end of our understanding, the end of our knowledge, and we begin to see more of God's majesty. That's why I encourage people to continue learning. It seems as we sort of explore the cosmos around us when we look at big things, and we sort of get to the edge of what we have previously known as our world, as our universe around us, and we realize that we haven't even begun to explore the full expanse of what God has created. And so when we sort of think that we have figured out the full measure of God's creation, he reveals that there's so much more. And we see the exact same thing happen as we go smaller. You would think it wouldn't work that way. But as you get smaller, you begin to see the infinite complexity of the things that God has made. And so as we sort of go forth in this effort to figure everything out, we find ourselves more and more in awe of what God has done. But again, there's a difficulty here. We have to be careful to not have a small understanding of God in our pursuit to simply know everything. If we sort of look at God in that context, then we sort of see him as just simply really complicated, but ultimately finite. If we had just enough time, we could sort of figure out everything about God. It reminds me a lot of the arguments that I used to have as a kid. I hope you didn't have these arguments as a kid with other friends. Maybe you hung out with better friends. I don't know. I hung out with nerds because I was a nerd. And so we would have many arguments and debates over who would win, Superman or Batman, right? Or insert anyone else and Batman. And it was always the Batman kids that I couldn't stand. If you're a Batman kid, I'll pray for you. So the reason was, it didn't matter what you brought to the table. You're going down a list of all their superpowers. They can do this, right? Laser vision, all of that. And the Batman kid would just sit there and wait. And then they would go, well, if he has enough time to prepare. Because that was Batman's thing, right? He would just make gadgets and, he would have the right gadget all the time. And if he has enough time to prepare, okay, It's not even a fair argument, right? We almost take that same approach. We turn into Batman kids in a spiritual sense. If we just had enough time to study, we could fully understand God. We could fully know God, as if there was sort of an end to who God is. We can even fall into this mistake sometimes in certain Christian circles. I always get a little leery. It's not a bad thing, but I kind of get on edge when I start hearing small groups and things start to say, we really have an interest in studying prophecy. Now, prophecy is a good thing, don't get me wrong. But what I've seen happen too many times is studies into prophecy become more fixated on trying to solve a puzzle than truly being in awe of God's complexity. You see, sometimes the complexity of the puzzle is exactly for that reason, to not be solved, but for us to stand back and say, who could possibly create something so wonderful? Who could create something so complex? But we get fixated on solving the problem. We become fixated on trying to fully understand and compartmentalize God, and in the process, we end up with a very small God. If He is able to be understood in full by our meager minds, that's a small God, and we do not have a small God. Amen? In terms of being in awe of things, that's another word that we've lost meaning to. Awesome. Now, I am the biggest offender of this one. As many of you knew, I grew up as a Florida kid. Awesome lost all meaning, right? Go out and see the sunrise. Awesome. Get in the car. Go to McDonald's. Got 11 nuggets when I ordered 10. Awesome. Come to church on Sunday and learn about an awesome God. The word loses meaning if you say it enough, and we used awesome all the time in Florida. Our words don't have the same punch as they should. So when we understand that God's counsel is wonderful, as we are told in the name Wonderful Counselor, the manner of His counsel is beyond our comprehension. There's actually a passage in Exodus. We're going to go back to Exodus for one verse here, if you'll forgive me on that one. Exodus 15, which we'll come up on in a little bit here. Who is like you, O Lord, among the gods? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in glorious deeds, doing wonders? Who is like our God? There is none like our God. Our text continues on. It tells us that He is a wonderful counselor. That's another word that, in our context, it means something slightly different. Counselors in a modern setting, we sort of think in a therapeutic sort of setting. We think of kind of a counseling session, but in a biblical context, counselors were advisors. They were people that were wise in a specific area, and they would give direction. In fact, counselors even used to refer to kings on occasion. They were one that you turned to when you needed guidance. Isaiah 28:29. This also comes from the Lord of hosts. He is wonderful in counsel and excellent in wisdom. He is wonderful in counsel and excellent in wisdom. Church, why does this matter so much? Why, when we look at this list of names that we have been given in the prophecy of the coming of our Messiah, why is this name front and center? Why is it the first one we see, this wonderful counselor? Because, church, God's people were lost. We were lost, and we still are. Isaiah 53:6, and we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned every one to his own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all. You see, we have each turned in our own direction. We had stopped following the leader. We had stopped following the direction that God had given us, and we had found ourselves lost. And so because of that, we needed Jesus. As we continue through Advent, this is a time of anticipation. This is a time of preparation for the coming of the Lord. We have to remember why he came in the first place. We needed an advisor. We saw very clearly that our own wisdom got us nowhere. In fact, if your experience was anything like mine, your wisdom only served to prove to you how wrong you could possibly be. That's about the extent of where my wisdom got me. Is in learning how much I truly did not know, how far off I could go. You ever find yourself with a problem that you just simply can't even begin to solve? Now, I know we've all had problems where we simply run through the motions and we just get the wrong conclusion, but I'm talking about a problem that you can't even see as a problem. You're looking at this and you don't even know where to start. You don't even recognize that there is a problem to be solved. That's how deep into the problem you are. Church, this is us in our sin. We cannot even truly understand the fullness of our sin, much less figure out how to get ourselves out of it. We needed sound wisdom. We needed perfect wisdom. We needed incomprehensible wisdom, wisdom that is beyond our understanding. And even though God had provided an instruction manual, he knew we wouldn't read it. And we still don't. And if I can confess, when it comes to instruction manuals, I am one of those guys that looks at the pictures first. And then I sort of try to figure it out from there. I'm seeing some nods, but I'm not hearing any amens because you don't know what to admit to it. It's a very quiet amen. You're like, please don't call me out. Please don't call me out. I remember growing up on those Lego manuals. They didn't have any words in them. It was just a series of pictures. You spent more time trying to decipher the manual than you did actually putting together the Lego set. I will look at the picture because I want to see what it is that I need to do rather than be told what I need to do. I need to figure this out for myself, and I'm not alone in this. Not only have some of you confessed your sins this very moment, but we've always been like this. This is the nature of mankind. We see that God sent his Son into the world to show us what he had been telling us. He put pictures to the words. There's a reason we spend so much time studying Jesus' ministry. Now, I don't mean to simply turn Jesus' ministry and the reason that he came into just purely to be an example. We know first and foremost that he came to be the sacrificial atonement for our sins that we might be reconciled with God. Right? First and foremost, let's not confuse the issue here. But that did not require him to spend so much time interacting with his disciples, teaching his disciples. To simply come and be the atoning sacrifice did not require him to set the example that he set. He came so that we could follow his example. He came also as part of his earthly ministry as a guide for simple people like me who needed pictures to understand. Because that's what I needed. I needed to see things in motion, and even when we read it now, it helps us to understand what he had been telling us the whole time. Church, how amazing and wonderful, the biblical use of wonderful, is it that God would desire for us to know him so much that he would give us such a caring counselor. Now, in my roles as a pastor and as a chaplain, I do a fair bit of counsel. One of the things that I've found is that much of my work as a counselor Doesn't come from offering any sort of advice or anything of that nature. My work comes in helping people to understand one another. Much of what I do is to simply rephrase things into a different set of words that I think might resonate with the listener. It's always a disconnect there, right? One person says something and the intention doesn't line up with what is received, and the response comes from what is received rather than what was intended, and there's a new message that is sent back and it was received differently, and before you know it, you've gone off the rails. And so much of my work comes in the middle, trying to help bridge that gap. Every listener is different, and it requires some adjustment on my part to help better communicate so that they can hear the intended message. A chaplain friend of mine, he hit me one time with this piece of wisdom that's stuck with me. He says, words don't have meanings, meanings have words. And I thought that was profound. Words don't have meanings, meanings have words. Church, God's word is unchanging. I want to say that right from the beginning. God's word is unchanging. The meaning of the text is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. But the words we use to convey that, however, can change. We speak in a different manner today than we would even 50, 60 years ago. There's different ways of expressing ourselves and sharing information, but the text has not changed. The meaning has not changed. And because language changes so often, God has given us a model. He has given us an example, this unchanging model in Jesus. No matter where the words may change and we may get confused in how that applies, the example that was given in the life of Jesus will never change. We can always look to his life to understand. And even more than that, even more than just simply giving us this living example of what it is that we are to know, he has also given us the interpreter, the Holy Spirit who dwells within every believer to guide us in our understanding. Because sometimes we still have trouble. Even when we see the example before us, we still have trouble. And so God continues to lead us. So what does this mean for us? What does it mean for us to know that we have a wonderful counselor? What do we do with that? Church, I want to encourage you to remember that people may not always understand what it is that we are trying to tell them. Just as we do not always understand what we have been told, people may not understand when you share with them the love of Jesus. And the truth is, maybe we're just not using the right words. The other truth of it is maybe we're just simply not the right person. For some reason, sometimes we just simply cannot receive wisdom from particular individuals. It may be, whether they're too close because they're family or whatever it is. Sometimes we just need to hear the same message from a different person. In fact, you see this in pulpits all the time, right? There's always sort of something about like the guest speaker from out of town. He could preach the exact same sermon the following week, and everyone would leave going, wow, that was, it just hits different, right? Doesn't matter what it is. We receive it differently. Church, when we are talking to this world, when we are sharing our faith, when we are telling people about the love and the mercy and the grace that we have received, I pray that we would be as mindful of the needs that they may have to understand our words as we have received. God relayed the information to us in a way that we could understand it, and he continues to do so. He continues to teach us in a way that we can understand. And when it comes to the message of the love of our Savior, I can't think of anything that we should be spending time on to make sure that it is understood, to make sure that it is received. I can't think of anything else that deserves more time and attention than that wonderful message right there. But church, sometimes words are not enough. Sometimes instead of relying on words, we have to do exactly what we were shown, and we have to set the example. Now, it's not our example. right? We can't take the place of Jesus, but sometimes we need to be that living example. We need to show people before we tell people. We need to show people that we behave in a different manner. We need to show people that we live in a different manner, that we respond to tragedy in a different manner. We have a hope that this world does not have. We have a hope in our Savior, Jesus Christ. We have an obligation to share a message in a way that it can be received. Be an example that is beyond understanding. And remember, when you find yourself in a place in life where you don't know what to do, when you don't know where to go, when life seems dark and all seems lost, we have been given a wonderful counselor. Not just simply a nice and pleasing counselor, but a counselor whose counsel is beyond our comprehension. One in whom we should stand in awe. Would you join me in a word of prayer? Heavenly Father, we thank you for the love that you have shown. And more than that, Lord, we thank you for never giving up and making sure that we understand that love. Lord, I pray that we would be just as diligent in the lives that we live. Lord, making sure that those around us know the love that you have for them. You went through great lengths to demonstrate that love. Help us to be just as faithful. And help us to never forget how truly wonderful you are. We ask all these things in the blessed name of Jesus. Amen.
Will you stand and sing with me off of your insert, Come Thou Long Expected Jesus.
Church family, as always, it is a privilege to open the Word and share it with you. I want to encourage you, please join us afterward in our time of fellowship and refreshment as we share a cup of coffee, find out what's going on in life, see what God is doing, how He's blessing us, and how we can come alongside one another. We've been drawn together as a body, amen? Amen. Amen. Would you join me as we pray? Heavenly Father, we pray as we leave here today, Lord, that we wouldn't do so in haste, Lord, that we wouldn't do so and simply forget all that we have heard, Lord, that we would do so with a renewed sense of passion to make sure that the message of your love is received by those around us. And Lord, we pray that where our words fail us, Lord, our actions would fill the gap. Lord, that our actions would go before us and tell this world that we have a hope in our Savior. Lord, let that message never be lost. Be with us as we go. Keep us safe in our travels. We ask all of these things in the blessed name of Jesus. Amen. As always, church family, those gathered here, those viewing online, may the Lord bless you and keep you.
And on the reverse side, Savior of the nations, come. God bless you.